Hello everybody, this is Finny here. I'm going to be giving you guys a tutorial today on combat and lockdown protocol. A couple things. First off, why you should trust this guide. I've got about 1200 hours in this game, coming up on 1300, and I have a majority of the world records, or near a majority of the world records, for speedrunning in this game, including any percent, scanner, pressure, and some others. I've been playing this a lot since release, and just want to give you guys some quick tips and info on how to properly fight in lockdown protocol, because I know I've had some updates since my last video, and this guy right here, this guy asked for it, so he's the one reason that I'm making this video. So if you see this, hello, I hope you enjoy it. Everybody else, yeah, enjoy. Yeah, and let's get right into it. I got all the weapons sorted and lined up for you guys here, so I can go over each of them for you. Before we start, there's a bunch of different groups of weapons that I'd like to go over first. There's the heavy, the screwdriver, knife, blunt, keycard, defib, and the guns. And each of those have their own different ups and downs, caveats, etc. But overall, the best is going to be the defib. Currently, if it's charged, you get one free kill. You hit anybody with it, and they're instantly dead. It's kind of hard to disarm somebody that has this, because it's pretty risky. If you trade and they get disarmed and they hit you at the same time, you still die, so very risky to disarm somebody that has this. This is the overall best weapon in the game currently. But yeah, aside from that, the second best is going to be blunt objects, and then after that is going to follow the knife, and then everything else is kind of whatever you want. The guns, they each have their own uses. I'll go over them in a minute. I would say, personally, revolver is better than shotgun, and silenced pistol is the worst out of the bunch. Just because they nerfed the revolver, or they nerfed the shotgun so much that the revolver pretty much functions as a shotgun now. You see the reticle, you can be up in someone's face and click, and it deals more damage than the shotgun would, as long as you hit your shot. But yeah, the defib is overall the best weapon. And I'm going to get into what each weapon does and how to use them effectively. For the heavy category, all of these are going to cost about 50 stamina to swing. So just swinging once is going to take away half of your stamina bar. Oh yeah, and before we go any further, there are two types of damage in this game. There's stamina damage and health damage, which I'm going to refer to as direct damage. So now, stamina damage lowers a player's stamina. If a player is out of stamina and you hit them, that converts to direct damage. So you'll notice, for instance, the blunt objects deal 5 health, 30 stamina if you're hitting them in the front, or 20 health, 80 stamina if you're hitting them in the back. The stamina is extremely important here, and damage is very misleading, because you can hit somebody in the back twice and kill them, because it will take 20 of their health away, and then 80 of their stamina, and that will be all of their remaining stamina. And if you hit them again, it will deal another 100 damage. So you pretty much want to treat your stamina bar as a second health bar. And the knives actually take 3 hits to kill in the back. So if you're going for fastest time to kill, the blunt objects are going to be your best bet, aside from the defib, obviously. Now these are very difficult to use. I don't recommend using them as a weapon. You can use them. I will say, if you see somebody holding one of these and they're going to use it intentionally as a weapon, a lot of players think that your mouse is locked when you're swinging this, just because of how heavy the animation is, so they don't think they can track you. So it's very easy. Say if this is my target, they're standing here, and they're rushing at me, they're going to swing and they're going to look straight. They're not going to turn their mouse. They generally don't. So it's very easy to go like this, move to the side, and they're just going to swing straight, take about half their health far away from them, and then you can go and hit them with whatever weapon you have. So that's pretty free stamina reduction there on your enemy. For the screwdrivers, don't touch these. Please don't touch these. This is the worst weapon in the game. Don't use this. Bad. Both of these are bad. The pencil is not here, but this is the pencil is a rare weapon that spawns in medical, and that would also be a screwdriver. The knives are great. The way you should play with these is you should only do front-facing hits, because I know the damage is higher for backstabs on them, but the damage is actually higher for blunt objects if you're doing backstabs. I know it's misleading because it says stamina and 20 health, but you're actually dealing 100 damage per hit with this, and you're going to deal 90 damage per hit with this. So this is going to be your best choice when you're going in with a backstab, because you can hit them twice and drop them, or you can hit them 3 times with the knife, which has a slower swing speed, and yeah, you're better off using these for backstabs. The best combat method in this game is going to be 180 backspins with blunt objects. I know that sounds confusing, but essentially, you take your blunt object, you run at your opponent, you run straight through their player model, and you turn around as you're running through them, and you left click. It's going to look like that, and you're going to hit their back, and the game is going to register it as a backstab. You're going to disarm them. This is also the only weapon in the game that can disarm in one hit, so anything in their main hand is going to drop out of it. That can be a shotgun, revolver, AR, knife, defib. You can steal whatever's in the person's main hand as long as you hit them in the back with one of these blunt objects. The egg is missing from this group because I couldn't find one, as well as some machine parts, the piston machine part and the nut machine part, or bolt rather. But other than that, this is all of the machine parts, or the blunt objects, and yeah, these are going to be the best things to use in the game. If you have a knife, I'll generally carry a fuse and a knife, and I'll opt to use the fuse. I mean, you can use anything from this list here. I'll opt to use the blunt object first, and I will switch to the knife if things get bad and I start losing health, because it's a player deterrent, because people see that I have a knife and they get scared for some reason, even though this deals more damage. I don't know. But yeah, so you want to go in and try and get as many backstabs with this as possible, because it's going to get your opponent as low as you can quickly. And if things go wrong, you're going to switch to your knife. Only do front-facing hits with this. Please do not try and do backstabs. There's no point. If you're going to do backstab, switch to a blunt object. Otherwise, they can disarm you, and you're trading more health, or less health than they are, if you land yours, because they're going to hit you with a blunt object and deal more damage to you than you are to them. So you're losing that fight there for no reason. Another thing is, if you're fighting someone that has blunt objects, pull back. Don't push too consistently, because what they're going to do is they're going to hit you once, and you can wait for your stamina to go fully back up, and then they're only dealing 5 damage at a time. If you get pushed heavily, once your stamina drops below full, they're going to start dealing 35 damage per hit instead of 5, and that's going to be substantial. But if they start hitting you in the front, you can honestly just laugh at them as long as you make distance between you and them, because it's not going to do anything. When they start pushing you fully and they turn around and hit you in the back, which not too many people do nowadays, that's when it becomes a problem. But if they have a blunt object, just keep your distance, make sure they can only hit you in the front, and you should be fine. If you have a blunt object and a knife, use the blunt object, get as many backstabs as you can. If your health gets low, pull this out, only hit front hits as you back away and let your health regen. This is going to be your defensive weapon, and this is going to be your offensive weapon for melee combat. Aside from the defib, if you have the defib, always use the defib. This is a free kill, so I'm going to stress that a lot. If you have the defib, use it. Yeah. The keycard is also its own weapon. It actually does have a very fast swing speed. So if you wanted to, you know, kill someone with the keycard for fun, go ahead. It's not, it's one of the worst. I think it's the worst weapon, actually. Yeah, this is the worst weapon in the game. Out of everything. It's actually worse than the screwdrivers, so this is the worst thing to use in the game. As for the guns, you're going to want to stand still while you shoot these. How spread works in this game is inside of my reticle is where the bullets are going to spray. So right now, if I were to shoot, it would hit anywhere inside of the white area. If I keep shooting very quickly, my reticle gets bigger and my shots are more inaccurate. So the quicker you shoot, the less accurate your shots are, thus increasing your chances to miss. In terms of the best gun, I'd say it's the revolver. The shotgun has been heavily nerfed. It's very bad now. You can use this in place of a shotgun very easily. It deals 100 damage to the head, and the spread while you're walking is really not bad. So if you get up close to someone, you can shoot them in the head and it will disarm them. It will take the item out of their hand. So if somebody's charging with a defib, pull this out and just pull the trigger when they get just barely close enough to hit you, and they'll drop it and you can take it for yourself. Now how to reload guns. In here, in this room, you're going to have to use a keycard to open this door. There's also another slot to open that door over there. But you're going to take the flower for each gun. The red is for the shotgun, the blue is for the silenced pistol, and the yellow is for the revolver. And later on, the red is going to be for the upgraded combat shotgun. It'll be the bigger shotgun that's in the weapon crate. It's not in the game currently. That's for if you're watching this video in the future. And the blue is going to be for the SMG, which isn't in the game currently. And the yellow is going to be for the AR, which is in the game currently. And how you obtain that AR is you use the keycard. You're going to have to use a keycard to open this door here, and then you're going to have to use a second keycard to open this crate. Now on default settings, there's a random chance on whether this is on or off. There will be a red dot here, and you won't be able to insert the keycard if it's disabled. This is what the SMG and shotgun are going to look like if you're wondering. So this is going to be the AR default settings. It's going to be at 20 ammunition. Every single refill is going to fill it up 5 rounds, up to 20 rounds. So refilling this gun is more beneficial than refilling these in terms of per round, but for damage output, you're going to want to use the revolver. So I'd say if you're geared to the teeth, have this in your back pocket, use this, and then when this runs out, refill this, because that's going to be your best damage output per shot. So for shooting this gun is really accurate. It has the smallest reticle and the longest range spread in the game. You notice if I take the revolver and I do the same thing, it's just a little bit less accurate. You see my aim is a little bit shaky, whereas this gun is pretty spot on. So yeah, if you see somebody with a gun, keep your stamina at full, because most of them, I mean the shotgun is going to deal quite a bit if you're at no stamina, but it's laughable now if you're at full stamina. It doesn't really do much. It might not even disarm you. And then for the silenced pistol, this thing tickles you. It's 5 health, 30 stamina, so you can take 1 shot from it, and you can take 2 shots from it actually, and be perfectly fine. You can only be at 90 health after those 2 shots if they hit you in the body, or 80 health if they hit you in the head. So I oftentimes have intentionally baited out pistol shots by turning away from my enemy and looking down and pressing F, kind of jiggle peeking in a door like this. Like if they're over there, I'll do this and let them shoot at me so they can waste their rounds, because they're going to be dealing the least amount of damage to me if they're only hitting me in the body and I'm able to regen my stamina. For the revolver, if they shoot you in the head, you're going to want to have full stamina, full health, because then you won't get one-tapped by it. If you're running around and you're at no stamina, you'll get one-tapped if they hit you in the head. And yeah, that's pretty much everything. I would say just use these to disarm your opponents. Also, if you're dissident, run into scanner and grab the defib that's in here, because there's one that will spawn in here, and on default settings that is going to be fully charged, and that's 1 free kill. Also, we got to talk about the fish. The fish is its own category as well, so it's got unique stats compared to the other weapons. It used to be a pretty meta weapon. Now it is one of the worst. I mean, it's not the worst, but it's pretty bad. In terms of frontal damage, it's better than the blunt objects, but the back damage is the same as the blunt objects, excluding the knockback. The knockback is double. So you hit anybody with this, they're gonna go flying. Yeah. So the weapons here are better than the fish. I recommend not using a fish, but if you're in a pinch and you don't have anything, this is better than a screwdriver. I'd say 2 of these beats a fish in this, because you can get disarmed and lose your item, and then you're stuck in a fight with no weapons, and that's not fun. Yeah. I'm going to talk about movement in fighting now. So I would make sure that you always keep your back away from your opponent. Don't let them hit you in the back, because you're going to get disarmed, and they're going to deal a lot of extra damage if they hit you in the back. As for movement around the map, there's this jump up here. This is for checking who's on the computer there, and you can drop down silently as long as you hit the plant there. If you drop down right here, you're going to take a lot of stamina damage, and you're going to make noise. If you jump up this ladder here, you can jump around here if you're being chased. So I've been chased around here, and just kind of, oh, well, I missed it, but you get the idea. And it's kind of hard for people to follow that. Another thing is, this is technically a possible jump. You can land on top of this, but it is very hard and very impractical to use. It's taken me upwards of 4 or 5 minutes to land, just running this back and forth over and over. It is possible, and you can jump up on top of here, to there, to there, to there, to there. You know, you can go around up here, but there's not much you can do up there, and if somebody has a gun, you're kind of screwed. This is also a jump, though it doesn't give you much of an advantage. I guess if you had the AR, it's probably good to be up here, because then people can't backstab you. Like if scanner was the last task, and you had the AR, this would be a pretty advantageous position to be in. Aside from that, it has several uses. In the green area, you can jump on top of that. You can jump up here. And you can jump in here. There's a lot of different jump ups. This is actually the best room for movement. There's going to be, well, excuse me while I missed that jump. There's going to be this right here. There's going to be this right here. Where can I stand? And don't try to jump from here to here, because this head hitter's there. But you can jump around over here, you can go all the way back there, whatever you want. If you're dissident and you know all the guns are empty and the reload room is closed, or you've hidden all the guns, you can stand up here with a vent or a package. And it's pretty hard for people to kill you. Another very advantageous jump up is going to be back here. If you're being chased by dissidents and you're low on health, you can make this jump, and they're going to chase you around, and then you can kind of weave out and get out, because that's a very hard jump to hit. If you practice it though, it's good to know. There's also this jump up. It's good if that's the last task there. You have a gun. aside from that, there's not really any notable jump ups. You can jump on top of here if you do this, but there's not really much of a use for that. And yeah, I think that's everything. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you guys want me to cover anything else. I have lots of knowledge on this game, so if you guys want any tips and tricks, or actually, yeah, if you guys want a tips and tricks video, let me know. I know a lot of cool little details about this game and stuff that you can do and whatnot. Here's a tip. Has been in the game for over a year. So yeah. Also for defibs, if you're running defib constantly, a good thing to know is that there are 3 batteries on the map by default, and if there's power, there's 5. So if you're trying to stop people from using the defibs entirely, you can hide 2 batteries without power, or you can hide 4 batteries with power, and then they won't be able to use the defib for the rest of the round. But yeah, that's everything. Hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys in the next one. Bye!